marching band. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Mr. Harry Adams, United States Navy Air Corps, 1942 to 1946. Mr. Manny Archila, United States Marine Corps, 1987 to 1991. Mr. Eric Ray, United States Navy, 2011 to present. Mr. Alfred Carazone, United States Coast Guard, 1944 to 1946. Our very own Mr. Robert Cooper, United States Army, 1966 to 1968. Mr. Charlie Dorsey, United States Army, 1965 to 1968. Ms. Lisa Ferrante, United States Navy, 1990 to 1992. Mr. James Jankway, United States Navy, 1968 to 1972. Mr. Paul Briscoe, United States Navy, 1943 to 1946. Mr. John Gomrowski, United States Air Force, 2010 to present. Mr. Joseph Guella, 1959 to 1962. Mr. Bob Halberstadt, United States Army, 1964 to 1970. Mr. Thomas Holden, United States Army, 1966 to 1967. Mr. Tim Kelly, United States Army, 1965 to 1971. Our very own Mr. Andrew Kennedy, United States Army, 2005 to 2012. Mr. Alfred Klein, United States Air Force, 1957 to 1961. Mr. William Flynn Jr., United States Army, 1966 to 1967. Mr. Michael Knudsen, United States Navy, 1970 to 1976. Mr. John Larkin, United States Navy, 1962 to 1966. Mr. Russell Lay, United States Army, 1967 to 1998. Mr. Frank Leahy, United States Army, 1964 to 1967. Mr. Scott LePage, United States Navy, 1989 to 1999. Mr. Cam Liebler, United States Army, 1967 to 1970. Mr. Patrick Lilly, United States Air Force, 19 pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to ask Ms. Sarah Kohei and the senior chorus to join us on the stage to lead us in our national anthem.
Twilights last week, whose stripes and Christ.
One of the cornerstones of this program is our keynote speakers, and I am absolutely humbled and honored to introduce today's keynote speaker, Mr. James Turner. He spent 34 years in the United States Navy, and during that time, he has visited 42 countries and 6 continents. He began his career as an E-1 and reached commander by the end. Mr. Turner, will you please join me up here on the stage?
Twice today. I was at a church school. I have 80 students, grade 1 through 12, a few weeks ago, with some other members of the Speakers Up Association. And we talked to those kids and asked a lot of questions. And in the end, the one kid wanted to know how old we were. And I think he was a second grader. He says, "You're 97. He says, "I don't think so." But anyway, it's funny how you are perceived. I'm really humble this morning. You guys are so patriotic here in New Jersey. Phillipsburg was my first taste a couple of years ago. Bill Nixon found me, and I've been there 3 times for a Veterans Tribute in November. Great going on. It's unbelievable. And what I've seen here so far this morning, I'm impressed. Thanks again for having me. All right, I'll try to get through this without goofing it up. If I get to do it again, maybe I'll get better. 13 years after World War II, I enlisted in the Navy. I did not know at that time that 3 young or junior naval officers had distinguished themselves in the Pacific Theater. John Kennedy, Gerald Ford, and George Bush. And you all know that they went on to become Commander-in-Chief of all armed forces, and eventually President of the United States. They did their job over there, and victory was within their sight, and they did prevail. I too, as a crew member on an aircraft carrier, was sent around the world on the oceans and seas to project our image and show the belligerents, whoever they may be, what the consequences could be when the United States Navy is called upon. Some of the aircraft carriers I served on were World War II vintage, such as the Oriskany and the Coral Sea. While on the Oriskany in 1967, John McCain, as you know, became a prisoner of war. I sat in the wardroom with him and we chatted, and he was in the squadron. He had come to the Oriskany after he was on the Forrestal off the coast of Vietnam. They had that fire in 1967 where 132 sailors perished on that flight deck fire. It was a missile was punched off one of the aircraft, went in another aircraft, and we had a major conflagration on the flight deck. A lot of aircraft were destroyed. 132 sailors lost their lives. But throughout that, we learned. We changed our procedures. No missiles would be armed until they were on a catapult, facing forward, so you could, if one went off uncommanded, it would not be sure it wouldn't hit another aircraft. The modern aircraft carriers, you know, they can go 900 nautical miles within 24 hours. Nothing can catch us or outrun us except a submarine. A submarine does go faster under the water submerged than it does when it's basically not patrolling, if you will. But anyway, submarines are very fast. Unlike those three junior officers I mentioned, the modern Navy has many advantages, mainly through communications and radars and everything sophisticated today. So we have a chance, much better chance of surviving than those guys did when they were flying F-4U Corsairs in the Pacific and on destroyers that were on their own, that were vulnerable. So I enjoyed all my assignments, and I look forward to going to sea whenever we would go to sea. When my department head, the commanding officer, realized that I could do the job they assigned me to, they laid more on me. They gave me more responsibilities. So I was smart enough to know that I can do those two, I better do them too, and my reward was a promotion. If you do your job, you do it well, you'll be rewarded. And your reward is a promotion. That's what we want to do. We want to go as far as we can. In the military, it's all about accountability. Responsibility and accountability. We are held responsible for everything we do. We're held accountable. Whether it's running the budget, whether it's just everything we do. We execute a mission, accountability. There is no one in the private sector, nowhere in industry, I don't care if it's Ford Motor Company, GM, nobody there has the responsibility of a seasoned, enlisted person, whether he be a senior enlisted, a junior enlisted, they're in front of a radar screen, they can reach over and touch a missile off, or a naval officer. No one has the same responsibility, nowhere near it. An aircraft carrier, the modern aircraft carriers, we have 10 of them today with the Nimitz class. They're all nuclear powered. They carry 87 aircraft, and there's 5,800 personnel aboard that ship. We're sent on a mission. Usually a deployment is 10, 11 months. Today's climate, they try to cut it back a little bit. They try to be more family oriented. When I was serving in the 60s on the West Coast, the deployment was 11 months. At that time, we were over off the coast of Vietnam, and we were doing sorties day and night. A typical day would see 12 sorties. 12 aircraft launched. 45 minutes later, another 12 aircraft launched, followed by a recovery of the first 12 aircraft. To launch 12 aircraft, it takes about 6 minutes. Steam catapults, it's rapid. A recovery takes a little bit longer, 8 to 10 minutes. Nighttime recoveries are longer because they have to go further aft to line up and make their approach. But we do this day in and day out. We're good at it. A typical deployment would net 12 to 14,000 launches and recoveries. It's a lot, but we do it. We're good at it. We got to the point where we had maybe one mishap in 10,000 launches, so it's good. Those people who ensure that catapult and the aircraft are mated together properly, they're out there in the rain, they're out there in the snow, they're out there at night. They make sure it's good. Here's this junior enlisted person, runs up another aircraft, the intakes are right above his head. He runs out and his thumbs up. The catapult officer signals the aircraft to be launched. Another enlisted person presses a button, the aircraft is gone. Catapult's 320 feet long. Second and a half, the aircraft is flying. When the Eisenhower, the Nimitz class carriers were built, they cost $4.2 billion. Today, there's a new class aircraft carrier. It's called the Gerald Ford class. As we speak, that ship is off the coast of Norfolk, undergoing some sea trials. It's supposed to be commissioned in July of this year. That ship cost $12 billion to build. When the Air Wing goes aboard with the new aircraft, the F-35 Lightning, that'll be an asset of $20 billion. They tried to de-man it a little bit with some improvements, some automation, but this crew will still be close to 5,500. Every 3 days at sea, the aircraft carrier needs to go alongside a replenishment ship. And what happens here is, no matter where we are around the world, in all the oceans, the Mediterranean Sea, the replenishment ships are forward deployed. They know when to go out because they're going to meet with us, or we're going to meet with them. But the replacement ship is going maybe 12, 15 knots on a given course. The receiving ship, in this case the aircraft carrier, it makes its approach. Day, night, it's all done. Mixed approach, it's 180 feet away from the supplying ship. We get alongside, they shoot lines across, manually pull a small line across, finally get on a winch, pull a cable across, and then the fueling hoses come across. The fueling hoses are 7-inch in diameter. There's 3 of them for jet fuel. There's about 120,000 gallons of jet fuel used each day. So every 3 days we take aboard, you can imagine, close to 1 million gallons. It's done in about 3.5 hours. We've had occasions where the Russians, with their surface fleet, they would interrupt our refueling. When you're refueling, you can't be turning. You're going straight. You maintain a straight course. And you plot it well in advance of the evolution. But the Russians, forever and ever, have screwed with us, and they come across our bow, not right in front of us, but they played games with us. They overflow us with their bombers, which is not allowed. It's not supposed to happen. When that happens, we send up escorts to escort them out of the area. But anyway, when we're done with refueling, we will, a few days later perhaps, and not as often, we'll go alongside a reefer ship. That's where we get our frozen food and fresh vegetables. It's all brought aboard, those are brought aboard by helicopters. From their deck to our deck, down the elevators, down to the storerooms where the reefers are. Overseas port calls, obviously highly anticipated. We go where we're invited. We just don't wake up one morning and say, let's go to Naples, or let's go to Tunisia, or Hong Kong. We have to be invited there. Of course, those port calls are made up in advance of us leaving the home port. And it's the host country. They have to be willing to receive us. Returning to home port, for all Navy ships, since the days of the wooden ships, has always been anticipated and longed for. Long days at sea are coming to an end. In the days of the sailing ships, the guy was up in a crow's nest as a lookout, whether he was a cook, whether he was down in the reactor space or the engineering space, it's all going to come to an end when you come home. And it's, you pull into the pier, tugboats meet you, nudge up against the pier. There's a blast of the ship's whistle. That means the first line went across to the pier. And that's when you look down and you see on the pier hundreds of people, maybe thousands, usually family members. Family members looking up at the ship, see if they can find their loved ones or their boyfriends. And then it's all over. You get off the ship, and then in 30 days, after 30 days stand down, it all starts over again. You come back from leave, the ship goes through another training cycle, sometimes there's a partial crew change, and it's the Navy. It's the Navy. And that's about a quick story about what I did. I've been around the world. I was fortunate. I went to Antarctica. I volunteered to go down to Antarctica. I spent 13 months there in support of the United States Antarctic Research Program. There's many countries down there. Britain, New Zealand, Australia, France, Germany, Russia. I was an E5 then, second class petty officer. I got to refuel two Russian IL-18s. They were flying to their Camp Murney, which is the other side of the continent. They could not get there without a fuel stop at our place at McMurdo Sound. So I refueled two IL-18s. I was glad to do it, something different. The Russian, one of the crew members gave me a little vodka. He gave me a little glass with the arm and sickle. I still have it etched in the glass. We traded hats. And but anyway, that's experiences are what it's all about too. I always look for something different to do, and I just enjoyed myself. I would have stayed longer, but 34 years and 2 months, I said, you know, it's time to go home, back on my farm, and I want to catch up with things that I missed. And I'm pleased to be here today, and thank you so much for inviting me.
day to see you. I just had to let you know. If I knew the last time that I held you was the last time I'd have held you and never let go. Keeps me awake nights wondering, lie in the dark just asking why. I've always been told you won't be called home till it's your time. I guess heaven was leading you, somebody just like you. Breathe enough to stand up for what you believe in, follow it through. When I try to make it make sense in my mind, the only conclusion I come to is heaven was needing a hero like you. I remember the last time that I saw you. Oh, you held your head up proud. I laughed inside when I saw how you were standing out in the crowd. You're such a part of who I am. Now that part will just be void. No matter how much I need you now, heaven needed you more. 'Cause heaven was needing a hero, somebody just like you. Brave enough to stand up for what you believe in, follow it through. When I try to make it make sense in my mind, the only conclusion I come to is heaven was needing a hero like you. 'Cause heaven was needing a hero like you.
Incredible job, ladies. Thank you. So this student has been indispensable to this program. She is the glue that keeps the committee together, keeps the three of us grounded. Maybe Mr. Gravatt can talk her into coming back next year and the next year and the next year after that. So keep that in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, with the student's perspective on Veterans Day, Ms. Jenna Sagan.
Good morning. My name is Jenna Sagan, and I'm a senior here at North Warren. As a student who has helped with Veterans Day for the past 4 years, I can honestly say it has been been one of the greatest privileges given to me. To the veterans sitting here today, not only I, but we all thank you for your sacrificial and selfless service. As I go through making the name tags, setting the schedule for speaking, etc., I run through many names that I do not personally know. However, as I sign you in at the front desk and have the opportunity to speak with you all throughout the day, it hits me that each and every one of you has stepped up to protect my life, even though you don't even know me. You have all put your life on the line in hopes of defending a whole nation of people who you clearly do not know, and that's what hits me the most about Veterans Day. Seeing each and every one of you and being able to put faces to the names, it becomes clear to me that your sacrifice is really real. Putting my own life on the line is not something I can relate to because I personally have not stepped there. But something tells me that it certainly is not the easiest task, and for all of you willing to complete it, we, as a North Warren student body, thank you very much. Putting what Veterans Day means to me in words is a rather difficult task, and not one that comes easily. This day means a lot more to me than the technicalities of it, paperwork and food orders. This day means being able to give a small portion of attention to those who willingly sacrifice so much. Being that Veterans Day is something that I've been heavily involved with for the past 4 years, it is definitely something that is not taken lightly. For all of you students sitting here today, think about this. These veterans sitting among you today have left their families and life behind at home to serve our country so that we may be able to live safely each and every day. While on call, they did not wake up thinking about the schoolwork that awaited them or the tests that so easily riddle us with anxiety. They woke up thinking, am I going to make it through the day, and how can I fight for the brother's life next to me? For all of you students sitting here today, I challenge you to do 3 things. 1, remember that thanking a veteran for their service has nothing to do with your political opinion, rather simple gratitude. So, thank a vet for their service and dedication. 2, realize the amount of protection you receive every day and do not take that lightly. This never has and never will be a subject that can be handled with immaturity. 3, be grateful and respect those who willingly do so much to better the life of someone else and never take it for granted. As my 4th year helping to run this program comes to a close, I can honestly say that this program has changed me for the better and will always be one of the most cherished items I leave behind here at North Warren. In conclusion, I would like to thank Mr. Gravatt, Mr. Davis, and Mrs. Horn for all of the hard work they put into this program every year to be able to honor all of you veterans sitting here today. I would also like to thank extending roles of support from teachers, administration, the chorus, etc. And lastly, I would like to thank the veterans here today for your service on and off the call. This program would not be here today without all of you. Thank you.
All right, maybe one more job for Jeff.
For all the things forgone, I've worked for all my life. And if I had to start again, with just my family by my side, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today. 'Cause that flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt that I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt that I love this land. God bless the USA. 'Cause there ain't no doubt that I love this land. God bless the USA.
Great job, Emily. Great job, Emily. It takes a lot of courage to come up here and do that. So, Jenna, since this is your last year, we're going to have you come up here one more time.
On behalf of the North Warren community, we would like to thank Mr. Bill Nixon for his years of service assisting local veterans communities, and in particular to his work at the Veterans Rally Point with this check. So, Mr. Nixon, if you want to make your way up here.
Good morning, everyone. Great program. It is always an honor and a pleasure to be here at North Warren Regional School with the Voices of Veterans program. I want to thank Mrs. Warren, Mr. Gavat, Mr. Davis, Jenna, who I just had the first chance to meet. Thank you for all of your behind-the-scenes work. There's always a lot of people behind the scenes. On behalf of the Phillipsburg area veterans and the Veterans Rally Point team, I would like to thank the staff of the North Warren Regional Education Association for your generous donation. Your act of kindness is deeply appreciated. Please know that all of your contributions will go toward the operation and maintenance and the use of our new Veterans Rally Point and Memorial located in the Lopatcong Township Municipal Park. In a minute, we're going to show you some pictures of that rally point. A rally point is a place for people to gather safely. It's a military term. It's used in combat. When our soldiers complete a task, they are reminded to return to a rally point, a safe place. We are constantly encouraging our veterans and their families to come to the rally point and take advantage of the honor and the sacrifice, and remember the sacrifices that have been made so that we can be together safely. Our Memorial Day candlelight ceremony will be taking place this Sunday evening at the Veterans Rally Point in that Lopatcong Municipal Park at 7:30. We invite and encourage any and all of you to attend our ceremony. All you have to do is bring a chair and maybe a blanket. Hopefully, the weather will be on our side. As you can see on the screen, I'm a visual person. This is our Veterans Rally Point. This was nothing more than a piece of property, ground, grass, dirt. All veterans and volunteers in the community built this Veterans Rally Point, including the seat wall memorial next to the rally point. In 2013-14, we built the memorial. We weren't satisfied. We wanted a way to bring people together. Mr. Terry Lee and I, a good friend of mine who has passed, talked about how are we going to bring people together in our communities. So this idea came to fruition. This is a Veterans Rally Point where people come together. Every Wednesday evening throughout the summer, we have music in the rally point, free. We have high school bands, choirs, people in the community, oldies bands, duets, combos, ensembles, come here and perform, free. People bring their chairs, sit anywhere on the lawn, sit on the seat wall. That rally point faces a hillside. It's a beautiful location. Can we look for another slide? We have another slide, you know? Okay. This was one of our bands performing in the rally point. What do you see in the sky? Hot air balloons. We happen to be located right beneath, right alongside of the Warren County Farmers Fairgrounds. Okay? And we have our rally point operating during that time. And while the bands are performing in the rally point, the hot air balloons are flying directly above the rally point. I want to repeat this. This place was built by total donation, just like today, that you're helping us operate and maintain the rally point. And most of the work was done by veterans and high school students, both from Phillipsburg High School, especially our FFA students, who actually install all of our engraved pavers, and Belvedere High School, who they do community service work in the name of the Travis Manion Foundation, a veteran who was killed in action. They do community service work in his name. So they come and help us all as well at the rally point. So your donation today will be applied to the operation and the maintenance of the Veterans Rally Point. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nixon. So I have bad news. Sean Pergola was going to sing God Bless America for us, but the good news is Matthew Pell will. So Matthew
God bless America. When that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the lights from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
All right, we did it again. Thank you, audience. In closing, this program helps define us at North Warren. It is an event to be proud of. Every year, we are able to come together as a school and provide invaluable valuable experience to our veterans, but also to our students, our staff, administration, and our growing community. It says a lot about who we are that we have built a tradition here. To our veterans and current service members, I hope today is special to all of you. Thank you. And finally, to our students and children, please take this opportunity to embrace our oral history. It was stories from my own personal hero that got me hooked on history. History should be told with passion. So North Warren, this afternoon, when you are back in the classrooms, put those phones away, give Snapchat a break, make one last tweet, and just listen. Because history truly comes alive today. And remember, the service announcements here that our incredible staff in the kitchen has prepared a wonderful lunch for us. I know it's a little early yet, but just keep thinking about that. All right, and remember that Mother Nature has not been kind to us today. It's nice and cool in here, but all lunch services will be served in the cafeteria. And finally, please remember that the stories you hear today, that you share them tomorrow. Thank you all very much and have an incredible day. Here, I'm going to ask the four students sit tight, please. Ladies and gentlemen, you can stand up and you can head back to the media center to get refueled.
Your friend, she doesn't bite.
Hi, my name is Morgan Foe for WNWR, and we are here with.
Jonathan Mazel.
So, what branch were you in the military?
I was in the United States Air Force
And-
from 1968 to 1975.
And what was your rank?
I attained the rank of Staff Sergeant, which is E5.
And what is the most memorable experience that you've had within, your military experience?
I think serving in Vietnam was the highlight of the 7 years I spent in service. And when I say highlight, I don't mean in a happy way.
Yeah.
I think it taught me that where we live and how we live is not free. And that as much as we like to think that we're the only country that fights for freedom, there were a lot of South Vietnamese that fought and died for their freedom. It's a pretty sobering experience when you meet people who maybe the next day are dead. So it teaches you a lot.
Well, that's it for today, North Warren. Please say thank you to a veteran sometime next time you see them. Have a good day.